and welcome to MGP393. I'm Kevin, with me as ever, the Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
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 Hello. How are we all?
Good.
Not bad. Not bad. How about yourself?
Do you know what, Pab? 393 episodes. It's the first time any of you have ever asked. And I'm flabbergasted and delighted. And you know what, Pab? I'm really well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
The rest of you, horrible monsters. You just don't care. I ask you every week how you are, and you never ask me.
Well,
Kevin,
to be
I
fair,
live
we
with
watch
you.
your vlog, and we know how you are, whereas Pab's obviously missed it this week, and that's why he didn't know the answer.
If you watch my vlog, then you know I'm verified on YouTube now. That's why they call me Mr. Tick.
What about Twitter?
Shut up about Twitter.
Oof.
I'm verified on YouTube and Instagram. It's not my fault Twitter are swines.
I've
They're
considered
monsters.
setting up a fake Lolujo account on Twitter so many times just so
There's
you could
so
say to
many
him,
of them.
Yeah, but I wanted you to be able to say, like, look how attacked I am, I need to be verified. But apparently that
Anna
doesn't
tried to
work.
find me on Twitch the other weekend for the Streamer Showdown. Which, by the
What
way,
was
is this
that
the first podcast since I became Kevy 4x?
It is.
How
Yeah.
you doing? Kevy 4x is here, boys and girls. But for that this weekend, she was trying to find me on Twitch because apparently she doesn't follow me. She typed in Lolujo, and there was about 18 different Twitch accounts came up of various Lolujos,
One of them was
including
called-
one of them that was called, what was it, that had Pab's name in as well?
Was it Lolujo and Pab Fishing or something?
No, Jam Shop or something.
Yeah,
Jam Shop,
Lolujo
that's
and
it.
Pab's Jam Shop is a Twitch account that exists.
Nice.
There was something about you fishing on there as well. I'm sure there was. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
there's so many
just
fake
obscure
Lolujos on
names.
Twitch, though. They must be on Twitter as well. Twitter, if you're watching, hashtag verify Kev. And yes, I did do the hashtag symbol towards the camera, even though it's not on.
It's
Don't
disgusting.
even know what that is. What with your
Where you
hands?
cross your fingers.
Yeah, you cross your fingers.
Oh,
hashtag
no.
Sheepdog.
God, that's gross.
Yep.
It is.
Oh, hold on. Siri's just giving me the contact details for the Sheepdog. Would you like to read out his phone number, Siri?
Do it.
Oh,
I'd
dear.
say at least 2/3 of our listeners already have it from years of contact. Just
Stop sending weird messages to our listeners, Sheepdog. Goodness me. But yeah, I'm Kevy 4x. Bow down before me. I am the unbeatable greatest football manager player of all time. Your football manager world champion!
it is weird that you keep winning this. Even Mrs. Sheepdog watched at least the final, maybe the semis. We were both a little bit in disbelief that you spent your win just sat there trying to sort out a GIF.
I told him off for
So
that.
did
yeah.
I. We both texted him, and he just checked his phone thinking it was going to be you again. And he was like, "Oh, now Sheepdog's telling me to stop it," but he just lost his mind, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, there was more people asking me to do it than were telling me not to do it.
They were.
Because they wanted it, they wanted to have it. That wasn't just my idea. People wanted to be able to destroy the lowdown with the Kevy 4x emote, which really I should have had set up in advance. But
Yeah,
that
or-
probably is tempting fate a little bit to do that.
You need an assistant, really, that does that sort of stuff for you in the background.
Yeah. Do you want to apply for the job, Sheepdog?
I don't know how to do it, but
Perhaps you should learn.
someone can do it. If it's easy, yeah, I'll figure it out. Whatever.
It's literally
But-
just uploading a photograph.
Well, it wasn't, Kev. You had to load up
Well,
Photoshop.
no, you see,
and-
this is the thing. Every time I've done it previously, I've had to Photoshop it down to 3 specific sizes. I did that this time preemptively, knowing that's what you have to do.
But it
And it
changed
got
it,
on
yeah.
there. I just uploaded one and it did it all for me. So obviously Twitch have updated their system since
Yeah.
I last uploaded an emote.
Not
Very
to
upsetting.
exaggerate too much, but I felt like I'd just watched the end of like Rocky, and he's just beaten Apollo Creed or whatever, Rocky 2, whatever it is, and everyone's cheering, and then Rocky's gone, hang on a minute,
Yeah.
and he's just got out a laptop and just started, was just like, this was really like hyped. He
Yeah.
just started editing a photo, and he
I
was like, I'm
told
trying to
him.
save it 3 times, and we were just like, what
You
is he
two
doing?
are not regulars in my stream, so you don't
Yes, I
know how
am.
normal that kind of thing is for me.
Yeah, okay, but maybe, I mean, I watched your viewer numbers go from near 900 to like 700
Yeah.
for that
was
stream. and I
really
like,
bad.
mate.
They were in for the match, and once I won the match, they were gone.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
fine.
Yeah, no, exactly. They'd got what they needed, but it just made me laugh. But it was very entertaining.
I
the whole
was
thing.
killing for time because I should have been on the lowdown by then. My stream should have stopped, but I didn't want to go on until I had the emote ready.
I mean, you also had the delicate situation of like last time. You were like, "Oh, I'm really pleased that I won. I'm really in a good mood." Everyone was like, "You're such a smug git. Oh, I hate how smug he is." And it was like, he's just won a tournament for the third time, and everyone keeps writing him off. He's not a monster. Like, you didn't start rubbing their noses in dog poo and going, "What's that? What's that?" You know, you just were like, "Oh, I can't believe I won again. That's brilliant. I'm really happy. I knew it. I knew I was good at it." You know, this time.
But I love the perfect storyline of the guy I called out the last time I won. Is the guy that I smashed with all the goals in the final this time.
They definitely went for the old wrestling thing by bringing back the last champ when you weren't there and getting him out against you.
I've been having a Twitter war with him this week as well. Which does me no harm at all. Manny's got like 3 million YouTube subscribers. I'm going to Twitter war with that guy all day long. Any interaction with him makes me money. It's fine.
It's just insane, isn't it? I didn't realise he was that popular. Like, he seems really humble. And
I had one of my former students get in touch with me, who doesn't follow me, didn't know what I was doing as a job now, got in touch with me and said, "Sir, I came here from Manny. It's really cool to see you're doing something you love for a job. That's awesome." So he'd seen his old teacher interacting with one of his favourite YouTubers on Twitter, beefing about Football Manager.
It's so
he's
weird.
my enemy now.
It's weird that you've made this, such a big thing. Like, even when it was starting to pay the bills, I still thought it was a bit weird. Like, not weird, just as a job. Do you know what I mean? Like it's an unusual left field. What on earth? And it's just becoming ridiculous, isn't it? It's really entertaining. They were asking about what people want to see in the next one. I was in two minds. I said I'd like to see less clicking pause, please. But actually, that's probably quite entertaining when you're losing your mind because you've had to sit there for 20 minutes while Zealand finishes.
Yeah, now we're going to debut our new game show, Pauseless, on the Friday night of the showdown. There'll be no podcast that week.
Facts.
We're doing Pauseless. It was so popular during the showdown this time.
Yeah,
Lincoln
I feel like I've
facts
wrecked it.
and guess that movie.
I kept getting them so late because of the bloody lag. It was ridiculous. And plus, like, half the films, I was like, "Oh, that's got to be Ant-Man," and it was The Fly, and I was like, "He's got to hold them. You got to get a camera that you can slide them under."
Yeah, well, if I'd have known I was going to do it, I've got my old webcam that's currently on the ceiling. I can have it kind of positioned above where the cards are and just slide the cards under the webcam and have it as a second shot. So if I actually started to do that as a thing, I could set it up so it was quite pro looking.
Cool. That's what the Pokemon card game people do. That they get their cards out of the pack, they slide them under a camera, like they're under a microscope, to show off them. That's the quality I need to expect if you're going to put.
I didn't know I was going to be doing it. I didn't know there was going to be a half-hour wait.
That's why I bought the cards for you, because I'd seen the other ones.
Yeah,
there might
that
be...
wait was the longest wait ever. That was so long.
That might not happen again. People were when I commented, people were suggesting like, "Oh, give them X amount of pauses a game and all of this." But
it's funny, Kevin losing his mind. It's the funniest thing.
I feel like if Zealand does it right, it's quite good mind games. I mean, you did beat him 7-1, so it didn't work
I did.
Didn't work that amazingly, but sometimes it works as quite a good mind game if it's just getting on your nerves. I don't know why he doesn't just tell them to do the tactics from the sidelines. That is a feature in the game. You can sub and tell everyone to try harder and go down the left or right or whatever without pausing, can't you? But he doesn't seem to have realised that.
I think he knows, but he likes to, because he's the tutorial guy, he likes to make a big deal about how good at tactics he is.
He's
And
not
then
busy.
has me smashing. Last tournament, my goalkeeper scored against him twice. This time, 7 goals past him.
That game is absurd. It's just insane. You need to all get together and have actual 16-man squads that you actually manage and see how that goes. Obviously, it doesn't work quite the same because you won't have world-class footballers. But
how dare you?
I want to see your management from the side of a pitch and see whether, because Zealand can't stop the game every 2 seconds, then, and you can't just send your goalkeeper up for bloody set pieces.
What? Who says?
Well, it might not work.
I drafted the tallest goalkeeper in there to make sure I could do that all night long.
I was explaining to Claire how I sort of said to her he's forgotten to send his keeper back. Like now he's winning quite, like, I don't know, you're 3 goals up, so he hasn't set his goalkeeper to stay back in goal. And then like a couple of minutes later you did it, and I explained to her that you forgot to do that a few tournaments back, and suddenly everything started going sideways for you.
We have a visitor. Are they here? Are they here for?
No, I kicked him straight out.
Was that someone here for Pab? Was that a big revelation?
I don't know what you wanted.
Just walked through the door.
I was like, can I finish my
I've never
sentence?
seen you before. Get out!
I tried really hard to finish my sentence naturally. It didn't work, and then just silence it, thinking you might respond, but everyone just sat silently. I said I'm on a call. I'm obviously in work mode. I'm on a call. Get out.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
You're in a meeting, a very important business meeting. This is important business, child. Get away from me.
I've been standing outside there for 10 minutes. The house is on fire. Everyone's outside. Join us. But he's not told me now. So if the house is burning down, I'm going with it.
I'm a businessman.
What are you saying?
That's what Sheepdog says to people all the time. You see him walking around the street yelling about him being a businessman.
Damn it, boy, I'm doing business. That's my catchphrase in this house.
There you go. I confused Sheepdog earlier in the week as well by trying to block his route into his own street.
That was weird. I was driving along, and then I just see this like grey car with this big fella in it, and I'm like, I can't turn right because he's just jumped the gun, and then he's just shaking his head at me, and I just thought, all right, dickhead, like, get out of the way. Like, and I just wasn't really saying or moving. I was completely like, I'd like to think my face is completely neutral because I was just like, what is this dick doing? And I was chatting to my wife, but then I just sort of paused and thought, What's the game here? What's going on? And then I suddenly realised it was Kev. I was like, oh, okay, it's Kev. This makes complete sense. But I was already too far past him to sort of give him a wave. So I texted him and he was like, I don't know what you're on about. I'm at home. But yeah, for like 3 seconds I thought I was about to have a fight. I was just like, this is all weird. This guy is just starting on me for no reason.
I
thought you were one of the people I'd blinded with my high beams. That finally fixed. Because Deeping had been angry with me all week. Well, I think I said it last week, didn't I? Just driving around with my lights set up wrong, but I fixed it now. I just thought you were one of the many people that I'd wronged.
You are. I am one of the many people you've wronged. Not for that particular reason, but I'm definitely in the group of people you've wronged.
I've never blinded you, though.
Sometimes the sun comes off your head at the wrong angle.
Kevin, be nice.
You think, that was one of the struggles of trying to set up my live stream the other day. I've got my lamps high up. And I kept going, I can't put it there. Shining off my head.
It's like Cyclops trying to get his eyes tested. Just beams of light shooting around the room.
I promised the internet I was starting an FTL live stream. I made a big deal out of it on Twitter. Got lots of people telling me they'd watch it, and then my stupid laptop wasn't good enough to do it. So I took somebody come in the chat while I was messing around with it. I think I'd basically I'd said something stupid, nothing like ridiculous, but I just made a noise, and then it just kept looping me making that noise, and I just thought it was just like some random logged in, and I thought he's just gonna be clicking
I'm
play.
I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman.
I sort of said, I'm trying to get it working and it's not going right. You might have to come back in a bit. And then they just didn't respond. So I figured they'd just log straight off.
Well, there you go, audience. Send Sheepdog a PC so you can get him streaming. That's your job for this week. Somebody buy Sheepdog a computer.
And as we established, 3/4 of them have my address already. So I'll probably get inundated with truckloads of them.
Yeah, if you could like insulate your walls with old computers or brand new computers. Computers everywhere.
I feel like I should just stitch them all together and make a supercomputer out of it. I'm sure there must be a way to do that.
I think that has the potential to make your house quite warm. Be all right during the winter. You don't want to do that in the summer months.
I know we touched on this on Twitter the other day, but I keep seeing pictures about how people shouldn't have bought the graphics card you bought a month ago this year. Yeah. And I was just like, I wonder if Kev's seen this. I wonder if he's bothered. You know you're not, because you had to buy it when you bought it. But yeah, everyone's going, oh, I'd hate to be someone who's bought that graphics card now when it's twice as good today as it was a month ago. And so that's my plan now. I'm going to save up and get a computer and be like, oh, what's that, Kev? It's twice as good as yours. Not that I can afford that, but that's my aim. That's my gamble. I'm going to just save.
My gaming PC's due an upgrade at some point. I'll just get one of them in my gaming PC. I don't need one of them in the streaming machine. I can make do with my 2080 computer in there. I'll be all right.
It's mad.
I kept a third computer.
I kept reading it and thinking, I wonder if Kev... I couldn't remember the dates, and I ended up going back through Twitter to see your specs, just because I was like, I was almost like, I don't want him to see it and be like, no.
I was warned at the time that it was not the right time to do it, and my response was, I've got to do it now, or else I'm not going to get to go on holiday this year. I'm not going to. I'm working 18-hour days. I need a faster machine. I've got to do it now.
Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? And like you said, you can always sort it out and do it. Change it up in future. Can't you?
Yeah. Once we've moved, we're settled into the new house, and we've got a pile of money in the corner of the room that's just going to catch fire because there's so much of it. If we don't get it dealt with, I'll throw some of that a new graphics card on the gaming PC. It'll be fine.
That happens a lot in your house, I imagine.
Money everywhere around here, Sheepdog. It's frustrating, if anything.
Just diamonds keeping the doors open.
Yeah. They're not any good at it either. You have to get a big sack of diamonds to work as a doorstop. Goodness me. It's a pain in the backside.
I showed my kid a video of diamond mine in Russia, and now he's obsessed with the concept of me acquiring diamonds for him. And I'm like, it's not as easy as you think. Did you not learn anything from the video? They have to dynamite a massive hole, and the women that count out the diamonds are basically shackled to a desk, and if they ever dared to steal any, they'd be killed. And it's like...
Dad, you said you were a businessman.
So make it happen. That's probably what he's coming in for. You're talking to Kev, ask him if he's got any diamonds spare.
They're not spare. My doors need to be held open.
We're talking a lot for a gaming podcast that hasn't been... I've had quite a gamey week this week, so I don't know whether you're riffing to fill it or what.
I was having a conversation with you, Sheepdog. This is human interaction.
I know. I just noticed my list out of the corner of my eye and thought maybe...
You've got a list? When did you go pro?
I explained that I needed to write them down because I couldn't remember the names of them. One of the games that I played, I've been calling Get Trucked all week because I thought that's what it was called, and it turns out it's called Cluster Truck, which is close enough. And it's not very good. I say playing it all week. I played it a bit, and then my son's been enjoying it because it's basically the floor is lava, but you're jumping on the backs of
cars,
lorries.
yeah, and
Really good.
It's the reason I'm not too keen on it is because the gravity and the physics in it are a bit off and weird, but because it mentions the floor is lava in the write-up, and my kids like that TV show on Netflix, and they like playing it when it's not appropriate to play it in the house and smashing the place up. They've been playing
always
it a lot.
Appropriate.
But yeah, I was convinced it was called Get Trucked, so I had to write a list because I knew it was a play on words somewhere. But Cluster Truck is the name of it. It's on Game Pass, and yeah. And we go back to our conversation now. I just wanted to get that out because I'd noticed it, and I just thought...
No, that's fine. You've ruined it now. We're going to talk about games. This is not what people came here for. You've ruined it.
I haven't had anything weird happen this week, to be fair. Normally, I have stupid stuff happen, but I've just been shackled to my desk working, and yeah, nothing really happening. It's been very quiet. So
I've just had a Steam advert for something called Pro Cycling Manager, and it just looks just like Football Manager. I'm tempted. Could I play Pro Cycling Manager? Would I enjoy this?
No. Surely the answer to that game is just pedal your bike harder.
The answer to football is just score a goal.
Yeah, but there's ways to sort of put people in different positions, isn't there? What can you
Yeah,
do
I guess
with
you have to
cycling?
choose what drugs you're going to give your cyclists.
Maybe. Good shout. Do you reckon performance-enhancing drugs would help me bike around town a bit better?
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you're trying to ride a bike without drugs, you're doing it wrong.
That explains a lot. I biked down your neck of the woods the other day, funnily enough. I went out for a bike
Stay
ride
away
and I
from
just
my
thought,
house.
I wonder where I'll end up. And then I just bit like my
We've
bike's
got
obviously like your
CCTV
old
now.
car.
Stay away from my house.
Your old car ends up in Yaxley. My bike just ended up down your road, not exactly your road, round the corner. I ended up going up the hill in the park near you and thinking, why did I bike up a hill? Then,
The only hill for 30 miles.
yeah, I basically made a beeline for the only hill I could find.
For anyone
Biked
not
up it.
familiar with our area, it's really not a hill. It's a pile where they put the foundations from the houses. It's about 8 feet off the floor, probably.
It was quite easy to bike up, to be fair. But I did then get to basically glide enough down the other side of it that I had momentum to just roll.
Well, if I see anything end up in our skip that's not supposed to be there, now I know you're skulking around the area, I'll know who to blame.
If it's a bike, you know I've given up and the drugs
There
didn't
was
work.
someone... I haven't mentioned this to Anna. This is probably an off-podcast conversation. There was someone skulking around our skip about half an hour ago.
Well, no, I saw them. They
What
went
were they
next
doing?
door.
Yeah,
I think it was
not happy
Pete
about
said
it.
delivery, wrong house. So I went downstairs and they were talking to next door So I
Did
think
you
it was
open the door and
pizza.
just go? Woo, 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 woo?
No, I was upstairs
Run
just
away.
about to give Andy the story, and my phone went off saying someone's at the door. I was like, well, this shouldn't be. So I went down there, saw next door was talking to someone. Then I checked Then I checked the playback, and it was a guy carrying a box. I'm guessing it was food. It looked like.
There's also a cat been
Domino's.
skulking around this skip as well. I've been watching him.
A cat.
A cat, yeah.
How many of Anna's handheld consoles have you smashed in this skip?
He's not smashing any of them. I've only
Dude,
got
I-
like 2.
I do remember your PSP going up in flames.
I did. There was a Wii that I was trying to get off her earlier, and she was defending it with her life.
You're not having the Wii because Roo will want it. That's why he's going to have a bigger
I want
room.
to smash it in the skip.
Smash your own things. Smash your computer. Smash your Mac.
Just order one off of the internet, and when it gets there, just smash it. I'm pretty sure I had one in my skip. I didn't smash it though. I put it in there politely. But
There you go. I've sent you three a picture of the cat so you can keep an eye out for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
I'll ride over on my bike and just scare him away. I'll make that
Yeah.
noise again, the woofing one.
Yeah, I suppose we can talk about video games now. If people genuinely aren't interested in tales from my CCTV,
Well, I'm slightly interested.
what? So I have to do more. So I can tell you
No,
about
you
the
don't.
pizza guy if you want.
Oh, he's a lovely cat. Look at him. He's so pretty. Bless him.
What colour is he? I didn't.
He's white and ginger, I think. He's the one that has like laser on the top of the garage roof when it's sunny up there.
I thought you said he had a laser on top of him. I was misunderstood that entirely. I tried playing The Escapists 2 this week again, forgetting how really slow and boring that game is. Twice this week I've got a game for myself and then ended up not enjoying it and then having to sit and watch my son play it because if he sees me playing something, he wants to play it. So it's been kind of torturous because that is the slowest game ever. And he can't help himself. If he sees a copper, he's going to hit him. And he keeps hitting the police and then running around the prison for like the next hour. And I say to him, if you go left, right, and just duck round there, that copper's not going to know where you are. But I think he likes to chase because he'll go through a door and then he'll stop and he'll wait for the police to catch up and then he'll run again. And that's all he's been doing. And I keep trying to get him to do the levels so that he can hopefully get bored of it, to be honest. But that is the slowest game in history. I don't understand why. I mean, I don't know whether I've just become less tolerant of slow-paced games, but that's killing me. I couldn't handle it. Like, I just wanted to be able to do everything 4 times the speed it was doing. This game's been out a while, I know. It was just, again, I think it was just on Game Pass. It had a lower rating than I thought it would have, so I thought he can watch me play it. And it was boring. So, I feel like that's quite a popular game as well, so I may be criticised for scathing that, but I just couldn't hack how slow it was. But I did find one I did enjoy. A game called The Gardens Between. Have any of you played that?
Yes, it's really good.
Yes.
But it's the rewinding one.
Yes, and
It's
that
so good.
Ironically, that is a little bit slow paced, but I like that because it's all about time. They could say it's time travel. I mean, it's not. I can't go back in time and stop Hitler. My son wanted to go back in time and to the point where he was born, and I was like, "It's a game. It doesn't really work like that, mate." But yeah, you have to kind of make it through this maze by reversing and fast forwarding through bits, and you've got little features that can make certain things move around the levels while everything else stays still. And yeah, you could just kind of pause exactly where it is on a certain moment in time. I remember we were reversing a VCR so that a tape would fall out, so you could walk up it like a bridge. It's just lots of cool, clever little puzzles. And I played that myself for ages. My son wanted to go, I wouldn't let him because I enjoyed it. But yeah, it's not really much to say on it. It's quite a small, easy game to download and get. I can't remember who made it now. I did make a note somewhere else, not on my phone, but it is very fun. So if you haven't played it, The Gardens Between is just fun and nice, and it's a nice break from killing stuff and hitting policemen or getting trucked
In games.
in games. Although I am worried that I'm teaching my son to hit police officers in real life, and just need to stop him playing escapists.
Splendid. Anna, you've played a shiny new game today,
I have indeed.
which I've been watching as if it's a TV show. and just it's allowed me to walk out of the room during the boring fighty bits. You've been playing the new Avengers game, haven't you?
I have indeed. I had no interest in this for months. Just was going to pass it by, but then I was like, I like Avengers a little bit. I'll buy it. So I did. I bought it yesterday at like 11, and I got it at like 10 o'clock today. So that's fast service for you from the good old shop too. Yeah, so Kevin likes it, don't you, Kevin?
I like the story parts. I was really into this for the first probably 15 minutes or so when it's just Kamala Khan wandering around an Avengers Day event, which, for those of you who really need a description of what's going on here, it's exactly like the time me and Pab went to the place near the XL. It's basically there.
Yes, it is.
They've gone there like me and Pab did. And that bit was really fun. I was enjoying that. She was meeting all the Avengers. It felt very Telltale gamey, not much going on, and then it spoilt itself by just becoming generic action game. Lots of thumping stuff with Thor, then thumping stuff with Iron Man, and then thumping stuff with insert superhero name here, and then every now and again you stop thumping stuff and it does interesting story again.
So yeah, what Kevin said. So there is a campaign. You start with a girl called Kamala Khan. Which I'm now informed is a Avenger. Is she an Avenger?
She's one of the new Avengers.
She's one of the new Avengers from 2016, I'm believing that I read right. And you play, so she is going to this Avengers Day because she won a contest, and then she's doing what Kevin just said, and then a bridge blows up, and you go over there, something happens with something, and people start getting ill, and it's 5 years later, and then you are this, what's her name?
She's become inhuman, hasn't she? I don't think she's actually calling herself Miss Marvel yet.
She is not.
Gets her inhuman powers.
She has stretchy hands.
Which
I thought was so funny. And I saw, I was like, what is this? But yeah, she can. I don't know if she can stretch or make herself bigger. It's one of the two.
She can do both, can't she?
Does the game cover her? I don't really get what this means because I don't know enough about her. But there's talk of her powers being like time travel-y, and like different versions of herself are connected to her or something. Is that something?
Not a clue.
Yeah, I was gonna say if that comes out in the game, I will.
No, don't know. I've literally. So you start as her. She finds something out, and she has to leave her family, and then you go and acquire other Avengers.
Yeah, it's basically the story of her putting the Avengers back together, isn't it? That's the idea.
Yeah, so I've got...
After they disassembled after this disaster that happened on Avengers Day.
Yeah. So I've got the Hulk. I found him. I've just found Iron Man. I found Jarvis, and then I found Iron Man. But yeah. So... I'm guessing it's a comic already happened. So I guess if
it's an original story, I think.
Oh, was it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, she's getting the Avengers back together.
The story element of it is fine, but the combat and the fighting just looks dull as hell.
Oh no, it's basically you get whatever Avenger and then you use their powers. So with the Miss Marvel, she can do stretchy things and clap. Like with her big hands, and then she can her special power is like getting really big and just hitting people with big hands and big feet. It's quite fun to do. And then you got the Hulk that just basically smashes everything together, which is really fun. Like you just go into a room and you can smash next to everything. Like some wall bits you can't, but yeah, you got the Hulk. He smashes, and that's what he does. And then you've got Iron Man who does floaty bits, and you can just fly around, which is cool. Like I haven't played a lot of him because I literally have just got him. But in the start, you get to play as 4, and you get to do all your hammer stuff, and that's quite fun. It's fun, and like because you get feedback through the controller. Yes, it's not like excellent, but it like when you're throwing the hammer and you get it back, you get like a rumble. It just feels like good. Do you know what I mean? Just like you get that feeling. And
I get why they have to put playing as all the different Avengers in to appease the meatheads. But for me, I'd be all in on this if it was just an entire game playing as Kamala and actually just doing the story and doing her bits and not having to insert generic superhero fight here.
If it was the Miss Marvel game like the Spider-Man installment, it wouldn't have had the same hype though, would it? Which is a shame.
You could still call it. It could still be her going and reassembling the Avengers. It's still an Avengers game.
If they then called it
you just don't play as the Avengers.
People would be outraged again, wouldn't they? They'd be like, "Oh, you called it Avengers, and I'm playing as one of them."
It just feels very much like they've built a game around her and then inserting these extra bits.
It'll be chapters, though, won't it? I think.
No.
Yeah, so
the idea is the next chapter will be
not.
someone.
You have a war table, and your Avenger missions come in there, but other missions come in there. So there's something like I've just literally seen like Hulk stories. So there's stories for him, I'm guessing, but like the game's very complicated because I have no idea what most of the screens are on about. Couldn't tell you, not a clue. There's so many like. There's a screen for skills. There's a screen for gear. There's a screen for cards. There's a screen for. Just
See, this
bits
is what's
that I have
worrying me
no
about
idea.
I worry that it's just, oh look, I've got a glove I can put on that'll make me a bit stronger. Oh look, I found a pair of boots. Now I've got to go figure out how these moves are going to be configured or whatever. And I don't know. It just sounds like there's going to be a lot of
it's
that.
not really moves. Your moves stay the same. Your gear is just like giving you more protection, or sometimes they've got like special attributes to them, so like, you can be like cryo, cold. If you've got going into a cold area, then and they're using cold weapons, then you can use that piece of armor. But it's just there's a lot of stuff in there that I have no idea why they're there. Because like you pick up collectibles, and they're comics. They're just like, but they've all got like. They've got stuff attached to them as well, and I've got all these comics. I have no idea what half of them are doing there. Like they just say you've got like a list of like 6 or 7 things, and I'm like, what are they for? How are they helping me in any way? And I have no idea. But I'm going to play the game the best I can and just like it. But I'm guessing. I think there's a multiplayer. I don't know how that works. I have not been on it. When you play in the main missions, you can play with friends. So, like, I had one where there was me and I had the Hulk there, and that could have been played by somebody. Obviously, no one on my list was playing that area, and I didn't invite anyone because I just don't. But yeah, you can. So. Campaign, you can have friends. There is multiplayer. Your gear, so when you equip gear, does not change the look of your character at all. Not a single thing. It's just, it tells you it's there because it's like holographic. It's very strange, but you don't know it's there unless you know you've changed it. There is costumes, but then you have to do some bits and bobs to unlock them. So I've not unlocked one. I've played it for about 4 hours, I'd say, and I've not unlocked on one. It throws, if you like trophies and stuff, it throws them at you constantly, like a lot. And so I was playing it earlier. I'd completed 9% of the game, and I had 8 trophies already. It just throws trophy at you. So if you like that, that's your game for you. But I like it. It's all right. It's good. It's Avengers, and I'd never.
Sorry, go on. I said, do you have to repeat missions?
I don't think you have to. I think you can go back and do it if you want to do it better, or you've missed something, because like there is collectibles for it. So, like the first one, it's basically just running through, but there is an A to B, but there is like side areas you can go where there is a collectible, but you don't have to collect them, I don't think. And yet you can replay them if you want to get a better score, because it is score based. But the first one I did with the Hulk, I got like I think it was purple bit of gear, so I obviously did well in it. So, but I don't think you have to play them again if you don't want to. I think in the multiplayer is just playing them areas. Again, I'm not sure because I've not gone that far to have a look, but I guess you don't have to. I guess you just do it if you want to go over there and get your collectibles.
Oh.
But did any of you three get it?
Yes.
I know there was talk about it. Oh, did you?
I decided to wait. I just thought I'll get it. A, once you two get it and tell me it's great, or B, when it's cheaper. But I don't know.
It's all right. Like Kev says, the story's good. Kev loves the story. Kev wanted me to wait while he went and did business so he could come back and keep watching. I'm like, I'm not waiting for you to come back so I can play my game. But he was enjoying them bits about it. And if you like Avengers and you like the stories they tell, then yeah, get this. It'll tell you a new story. I've been told. So
it is a new story.
That's always good. And then you get like the comics. The comic fronts are quite good to see because it tells you like the year it came out, who wrote it, who edited it, who did the pictures. It's just like a little bit of history.
And then I go and fetch them from out the garage and say, look, here's that one you just found.
Yeah, Kev's like, I've got that one. Okay, well done you. You've got a bunch of comics.
Do you know, one of the guys I do my Pokemon Go raids with, he has a storage facility somewhere that has something like 10,000 Marvel comics in, ranging from the original first to current day. I was chatting to him. I hadn't seen anyone that I knew at all after about 3 months of lockdown, and I nipped out to Tesco's and saw him, and he said, I've just spent the past 2 weeks just sat in my storage unit checking all my comics, making sure they're all right, counting how many there are. He was like, he was like, because it's a collection, it's worth a frigging fortune. He was
okay.
He was like, I've got some in there that are in like, what's, they're ranked, and is it like rank 10 is the best, and he's got rank 9 of this one, and I was just like, I just want to rob him. I just want to rob him. I want to follow him home and rob him. But no, it fascinated. He was like, I said to him, do you follow him much? He was like, I haven't seen many of the films. He said, I'm not really. He said, I don't really read the new ones. I like the old ones, and I just got in the habit of collecting them. And I was like, God, your kids are going to be lapping it up when you inherit them from you, because he's not old, but do you know what I mean? He's got kids my age, so. He was just. It sounds like such a great thing he's put together. Kev would just collapse walking in the door. I imagine the amount of stuff he could read in there, all the stories he's got. But,
I imagine I'd have a lovely time.
Yeah, I do want to say to him, "Can I come and look?" But I thought, no, we wouldn't be allowed to touch anything. I'd be worried I'd accidentally get moisture in there or something, and then it'd all be wrecked. But
you are a very moist man.
I am. But yeah, I was surprised when he just mentioned it in passing one day. I can't remember if I think it was when I was obsessing over not getting spoiled for Endgame. And I just mentioned I was going, and he was like, did I ever mention that I've got a collection of Marvel comics? And then we just got chatting, and I didn't imagine it was going to be like thousands and thousands of comics, basically a small fortune in paper. I'm surprised he hasn't just flogged them. I mean, surely... I think I said to him, surely now, the height of Endgame, everyone's in Marvel Mania, just stick them on eBay. Just get the lot on eBay now in a collection. Now is the moment. He'll probably wait until they release some terrible film and then the stock's so low it doesn't work. But now seems like the perfect time to flog that.
I'll have them.
Go buy them off. Give him some diamonds. And I'll take some.
He's not having my diamonds. How am I going to keep my doors open? Comics are useless. They bend.
Next time I see him, I'll offer him some of your diamonds. I'll broker the trade, and I'll collect a small bag and give them to Bosco.
Okay.
I think he just heard me say his name. He's going to be back in here in a minute.
Where's my diamonds?
Yeah, he's either heard his name or he's heard diamonds.
Right, who's next? Who's next? Or have you had anything else, Anna? Was that your lot for this week?
I started Wasteland on the PlayStation 4 and just got through it as quick as possible. I'm thankful that it actually lets me quick skip every conversation that I've had already, because I had to play. I started on Xbox because someone forgot something, so I had to start it again. But yeah, I just quit. I've basically at the place I was when I started it on the Xbox, because there is quick skip, and I do like skipping conversations I've already had. Because
when you were like, I'm skipping them, I thought, I wonder if they're going to ask me for a copy of our review.
So no, what I mean is I'm just skipping what I've already done just to get to where I was, as fast as possible.
Not being funny, all games should have a skip. All games should have a skip button. It should be the de facto, like, next gen. If your game doesn't have skip scene, skip dialogue, skip task, then you're failing. You need to be adding skip whatever you want. Don't even play the game if you don't want to. That Get Trucked, whatever it was called, I started that up not realising it was going to go straight into the first level. I got called out to eat my dinner. When I come back, I've done 3 of the levels because you just stand on the truck and it drives through the finish line for you. My son was like amazed that the game played itself. All games should play themselves if you want them to. That should be the rule. Sorry, continue with your reviews.
No, I was just saying, basically at where I was, so I'm starting from there. Literally last night I got to it before I went to bed. So now I can, like, I've not even gone, because like basically in this game you have truck. In other Wasteland games there has not been. You just not fast travel, but it's basically a map with a dot on it. This time I've not even seen the world map yet, because I'm just doing the first area. So you get to one area, you have to take out someone with a what are they called, grenade launcher. So I did that, and then I had to go to a village, and I haven't been to the world map yet. So that's excellent. I have 4 rangers in my team. I have 2 extras that aren't rangers, because you can only have 4. My 4 rangers are all women. I wanted an all-girl group going around. I have 1 guy because he was like in the area and I could equip him, so I did, but he has a big helmet on, so I can't see his face. But I have all girls at the moment, because there is like you could pick 2 at the start. I picked these 2 girls. One is like really old, one's really young, and they're like, she's teaching the young one how to live as a ranger. And then when you come to pick your other ones, there's like this massive roster of people you can pick from. So that's always good. You can make your own if you want, as always on games. You can make your own if you want to. But yeah, enjoying it immensely. I like the fighting. I don't know why I like that kind of. I don't even know what it's called. Strategy, maybe. Like, you have turns, then you have to wait for the enemy to have a turn, and then you have a turn. But I'm all good with that. I like that. What I did find is that I didn't pick the same traits as I did on the Xbox. So I was going through it thinking, no, I have that trait and I don't, and that annoyed me. So I've had to make sure my traits are the same, because I do not like having lockpick. Love a lockpick. But yeah.
Maybe that's your career, cat burglar.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why, but it's like Fallout games is lockpick. Any game, like lots of games are lockpick, and I love a lockpick minigame. Love it. Like, I don't even know why, I just do.
Why don't you just learn how to do it? Get a hair clip out, sit at the front door and have fun.
She's just done 3 years of a degree learning how to rob stuff. She'll be fine.
I haven't learned how to rob stuff. I know how to get away with stuff.
Yeah, you learned how to get away with crime. You're the first person I'm calling when my son hits a police officer because I've let him play too many games. Or he's seen a bag of diamonds in a shop and he's just grabbed them.
Wow. But what was I saying? Well, I'm in a like a club in my game at the moment. There's like an actual full life called Little Vegas club, and that's all shiny and got lights. So I'm just in there at the moment doing what I gotta do. But I do want to go to the world map. I like going to other places, because like the other game was mad. Like when I started Wasteland 2, I either had to go to a centre that needed water or a centre that made food, and because I always picked the one that had the water, I always left the one that made the food. And if you leave the one that had the food then turns into like mutant fruit, and then they eat you. I always find that quite funny. It's mad. But then if you go there first and don't go to the water one, the plants don't turn into that, and that's not as fun. But yeah, these games are mad. Like, really are mad, but they're fun. And then my Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning got shipped today, because that's out on Tuesday, so I may have a new game tomorrow, who knows? But
I can't decide on that. When you said it before, I remember getting it and reviewing it years ago, but I suddenly got fed up because it became very much find me a flower, bring me a dog or whatever, and it's like, oh, do it yourself. Like, I hate it when games get really basic like that.
But I remember the start of this game, and I really, really liked it. But then, like you, I remember it's like, go and get a flower to do this. I was like, I don't want to. I really don't want to go and get a flower.
This game was ambitious at the time, wasn't it? I can't even remember why particularly. Like, was it just a small development?
It had loads of money chucked at it, and then it couldn't pay it back, and then THQ got the rights, and it was just a big mess, apparently.
Were they expecting it to become some big thing? Like I don't really get what they made this massive game, and then immediately it was like, oh, we shouldn't have spent so much money. Like, it was barely out when they were like, why did we do this? And I don't remember it looking cutting edge. It didn't make me think, oh my god.
Oh, it did. The start when you're in that chamber and you wake up and it's all pretty, and then it just got to.
I don't know. It didn't look. Whatever I played it on, I can't remember now. I don't think it looked like eye-poppingly pretty. It just looked nice. You know, I was like, oh yeah, cool. It's a big game. It has been years since
I think it was the first game I played. I played when I lived here. I don't remember it. I remember playing it in Nottingham, so it was one of the first games I played over here. But I think I played it on the Xbox. But it's out. It's not full price. I don't think I paid like £30 for it. Not like the £48 that the Avengers is. Robin, but it's Avengers. You're gonna pay that, aren't you? But yeah, that's coming out. It's all been fancied and prettied up on I Am Led to Believe. DLC. It's like the definitive edition. You get everything, I believe, and then there's some new DLC that comes out next year. So it's there if you want to go back, like, 10 years? 8 years to the Re-Reckoning.
8 years.
Well, I literally have been in this house for 8 years now, so yeah, it's about 8 years old. But it was a good game. I didn't play a lot of it because I remember getting lost in a forest because everything looked the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, you went one way and it looked the same. You went the other way, it looked the same. But
I think that's kind of what I mean as well about it being, it wasn't spectacular because it was, it looked the same.
But it had a really boring palette. That was the problem. Nothing looked any different from each other, and I got very lost, and I was like, "Where am I going?" But it's there if people want to play it, I guess. And if you missed the first time, maybe pick it up now. It's not quite silly season yet. We still don't have release dates for the PlayStation or Xbox.
You think they'd have brought it out before summer? I mean, I guess COVID would have knocked that back. I'm forgetting that. But
it was literally a few weeks ago. They put out like the Twitter of them put out a tweet, and everyone was like, "Excuse me, what are you doing? Who?" Like, we didn't even know anything about it until then. And we were like, "Oh, all right, fine." Like, hello. So yeah, and then they brought it out for. I think it was supposed to come out at the start of August, but then got pushed back to September. But Tuesday it comes out. So, but I think I've played a bit of Fall Guys, just because Andy thinks it's Takeshi's Castle and thinks it's the funniest thing on the earth at the moment. So yeah, loves that, bless him. And that is it. Let me check. Let's have a look. Avengers. But I played some Borderlands just for half an hour, just to, because there's new DLC coming out, so I played that for a little bit just to burn off some steam because people have been mean to me this week. But apart from that, that's it. So I've played. So yeah.
Splendid. Who's next?
Me. That'd be me.
Would you like to share?
Yeah. Okay. So, well, we start with Control. I finished the AWE expansion DLC thing.
What is AWE?
AWE is an Altered World event.
Okay.
Or as people say, dubbing it the Alan Wake expansion. Yeah, it is very much more Control. I reckon you probably do that in about 4 hours or so, maybe.
Is this the first bit of DLC or the second?
Second.
Okay.
It's the second DLC, and I think it's probably the last DLC for it.
I thought there was 3.
There might be. I thought there was 2.
I think there's 3. I think
there could be 3 then. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna end. I feel like the problem is when with me playing this, it was fine because I was playing Control. It was fine, but I have no frame of reference because I hadn't played Alan Wake. I knew what Alan Wake was.
Okay.
I knew what Alan Wake was, and I knew the rough gist of it, but I don't know I don't know the beats of it. Like,
no.
And they make references, and there's like, you know, like the Control has like files everywhere that you can read, and there's lore inside these documents. There's tons of it, and there's loads of it in this DLC, and it references stuff that I have no clue to, and it just goes straight over my head, and I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, great, and it doesn't mean anything to me. I think if you are an Alan Wake fan, and you like that, you know, that kind
Alan
of
Wake
world,
was freaky. So weird.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definite links to it, and it's cool. I'll not say it's not cool. It is very cool what they've done with it, and there is definite connection between the worlds now and what have you. And if there is more DLC, then great. I will happily play more of it because it is just fun. It's just fun to play. I didn't find it. It didn't seem that difficult this time. Last time, the first DLC, the difficulty spike just kind of just did literally spike, and the enemies seemed a lot harder. The enemies just seemed a lot harder, but this one relatively fine. I don't know. I just prepared myself more mentally for it, and I just knew to be a lot more cautious with it. Maybe that might have been the thing. But yeah, I finished that. The other thing I finished, technically I finished Detroit Become Human last week on PC.
Oh, I love Detroit. Such a good game.
So I played that game with entirety of the Twitch chat deciding what we're doing.
What, every decision?
And I imagine you still did better than Sheepdog.
I did. because there was the artistic license for me to step in at certain points. I know Sheepdog had tweeted saying, Stay where you are with the Kara scene, because that's what you're supposed to do. And I didn't do that because I'm not
an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm missing out.
You're
missing out by getting that extra third of a game, pal.
Yeah, I'm missing out by yeah. It was
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. I did things that wasn't expected. There is definitely blood on the chat's hand and not my hands for certain things. I was like, why are we killing this person? And they were like, kill him. I was like, we're okay. I was like, okay, that is not me. That is you. And yeah, I got an ending and I got things happen that didn't happen in my game. And I was very hesitant to do this again because I'd already seen it all, and what can you see from it? But I tell you what, I genuinely enjoyed it. And
I don't think I could play this game again though. Like I chose my choices. I don't think I could go against what I did.
Yeah,
again,
well that's the thing. That's why I had it with. So there is a community play extension on Twitch that lets you make decisions physically on Twitch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that doesn't go far enough. The game just goes like just every now and again. The game like on Twitch, you'll just go with a question, and it was like, do you believe in the supernatural? And you're like, what way is this relevant to the game? Like what? Do you trust this? Like, do you trust this person? So it doesn't relate to the actual decisions made in the game.
I guess that makes it. Like,
but it's just weird.
You don't know where.
It felt like someone was like collecting data.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's just like, do you have a pet? What if so? What pet? And it was like this: cat, dog, fish, other. And you're like, what?
Then but then no one governs on what choices you make. They're just random questions, and then
pretty much is.
They correlate to a certain option.
It's bizarre.
I think that's fun.
But the chat, the game doesn't like. The game doesn't like receive that answer and decide something in the game. I still have to make the decisions. Might just be
knowing that cat owners are more likely to do something.
I don't know. It's bizarre. So what I ended up doing is just pretty much just like every decision was made, and every decision would pop up, and I would like just kind of like pause the game and go, right, what we're doing, and then just put a poll into chat or what have you, or we just run it through chat and then just literally decide what we were doing. And yeah, we got some bizarre decisions made and some interesting ways to go. And yeah, like I say, it went differently to how I played it the first time. So I'm genuinely glad I did it that way, because, like I say, when I played it again on my own, I'd have probably ended up at the same place that I did last time. So yeah.
The only thing that annoys me about that game is the when you're in your cop buddy's apartment and you have to specifically see a picture of his son with the name on it, and that's literally the only way you can do a perfect run. I can't remember the guy's name who dies a million times in it. If you want
Connor.
to,
Connor.
That's it.
I got to Connor 3.0.
Ironically, weirdly, considering, I played that game and Connor did not die once until the end because I didn't see that stupid picture. You had a certain amount of time to look around his house, and I didn't see it because I was looking around the house, whatever. And it really annoyed me that could happen. They should have made that easier or guessable or whatever. They should have made it more obvious in the story. I felt like that. I was just annoyed. I was like that. I had no control over that. I had control over every other aspect of the game except that bit. So my wife is like halfway through the game, and I keep meaning to get her to finish it, although I doubt she remembers what any of it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But that bit, I need to pre-look up where the photo is so she can go to it and get a proper, her game out
on the
of it.
table, I think, if I remember rightly.
But yeah, I was a bit miffed. I know in yours you said he died a lot, didn't you? In your
Twitch got 3, but people were egging it on. They were like, "How many can we get? Can we get to 10?"
There is an achievement, isn't there?
Well, you can kill him 10 times. I don't think I ever got him.
Yeah, you
killed.
can get him killed. You can get killed from the get-go.
Every point of the game. Yeah,
and he comes back. Every scene, pretty much. It's not every scene. Let's be honest. It's not every scene, but a lot of the scenes with Connor in, there's an option where he gets killed, then they just send out a new Connor.
Yeah, because in that Zen
there's a
garden,
graveyard, isn't there?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it's all just Connor gravestones, and I think you get a trophy for having 10 or something.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, but as I say, I didn't even know he could. When that lady had died, I just assumed it wouldn't let. I assumed it wouldn't let me kill anyone else, but apparently you can literally kill both them two. Like, you can't kill Connor completely; he has to be in the story. But the other two you can kill. And someone was saying they ended up the game with basically a version of Connor and 2 random strangers standing on stage. And even though I did kill Kara, I can't imagine not having. Again, I forget the other guy's name. He seemed pretty
Marcus.
brutal. Marcus, that's it.
Yeah, he's the. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to spoil the game that's 3 or 4 year old now, but yeah.
Yeah, if people haven't played that by now, that should be the.
They're idiots.
Well, it came out on Steam last year, didn't it? So
get it by any means possible because it's just cracking. Yeah, that's a special game. Very special.
So yeah, did that. That was fun. Now with a gap in in like what I'm playing right now on stream, I decided to go back to Breath of the Wild. Yes, I've gone back to Breath of the Wild to play again because it's so damn good. And I was like, I'm not content with just going back and starting at like the third Divine Beast and not knowing the controls, or just chucked into like a maze room. I'm like, this isn't going to happen, so we're starting again. So started again from the beginning, and it's so good, such a good game that you can just, the freedom it gives you is like nothing else. And I think playing Tsushima, you can see what Tsushima took from this game. You can see like it's why it's kind of like what I want to be playing at the minute, because I enjoyed Tsushima that much, and I'm missing having that kind of like sort of open world game to play. And this game it's just filling that gap now perfectly. And we're playing it, doing it. We're not like no spoilers or anything like that. We're just doing it, and like if someone says go over here because this is here, and we're like, yeah, okay, let's do it then. Let's go do some cool stuff, and let's just wander about this map. And because you can do literally anything, you can complete the game in 20 minutes if you want. I think the speed run was 27 minutes.
What, Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
You've got to get through the plateau, haven't you?
Yep.
The Great Plateau is the tutorial area, isn't it? You could probably speedrun that, and then you just bolt for the castle. And you just make a run for the castle, and you can technically beat the game without doing anything else. It's hard, but you can do it. So people have done it, and like I say, speedrun is like 27 minutes. So, that's not what we're doing. That is not what we're doing. But yeah, I continue to play Breath of the Wild. It's still very good. I'm having to play it on my Japanese account because my regular account, it goes, I've click new game, and it goes, you sure you're going to wipe your save off? And I went, no, I can't do that to myself. There's no separate save slots. There's only one. So I was like, damn it. And then I was like, this might be a problem then. This might be a problem for playing this game. I can't just let this save go. I put so many hours into it. So and then I came to the realization that I can just switch accounts. So I switched to my Japanese account. And yeah, it all works fine. The DLC all carries over and everything. It's all exactly the same. So yeah, that is on my Twitch channel most days of the week now. And the last thing is, like I say, because I finished Control like at the start of the week, maybe Monday, I was like, what do I want to do now? And I was like, I'm getting the itch now. Like, right, let's get Avengers then. Let's get Avengers. Give it a go. I was so negative about it last week about this the way the beta went for me. I just like, I don't know if it's for me. But like you said, Anna, the story is so damn good. The story is the best thing about this game, and you're right. There is one solid story mainline in there, and there are vignettes where you play as different characters. Mm-hmm. But the main character is Kamala Khan throughout the entirety of the game, from what I can gather. So you'll play her through most of the game. Like I say, there will be small chunks where you go play as the Hulk or whoever it is, and I feel like they are doing that to give you a taster of what you would play in like a multiplayer version, because I'm not certain, I might be wrong, but I'm not certain you can play all as the same character in multiplayer. So you couldn't have 4 Hulks just charging around.
No, it did say that. It says that you can only have one of each. Exactly, hero.
Right. So you probably want to give people a taste of like how each character plays and what have you in the main story game, to then get to like the multiplayer side of the game. The multiplayer side of the game is supposedly like Destiny-esque. And I know that's going to put people off in certain things, might attract people in other ways. But it's like, so you have the war table, don't you? You have the war table where your missions turn up, and there is like a main quest line through there, and then there's other things in there, like you say. And like you say, there are just like Bruce quests where you go and be a Hulk and you go and do like smashing a load of stuff up or whatever you. And there's also like a AI kind of based, like wave based kind of levels inside the Chimera as well, isn't there? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, it's called Palm.
Yeah, there you go. So they're like, it's like holodeck, isn't it? So you have like these holographic kind of like VR missions on the helicarrier. I think they are multiplayer as well, joinable. I'm not certain.
I've only played it
but they're
once.
co-op. Like I say, I've not played any of it, any multiplayer stuff, any of the stuff that's going on with that. I've just been playing it on PC, off stream, and it's worked absolutely fine. It's run so smoothly compared to like the complaints about the beta and when I was streaming it. Because I'm not streaming, I'm like very conscious of me streaming these high-powered games now for some reason, and just playing it off stream, it runs so well. It's like I say, it's not buggy at all as of yet, and yeah, it looks amazing. So I'm going to continue playing it. I don't know how long the story is, but I've probably put about 3 to 3.5 hours in. I've just got to the war table pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's like I say, the story is very, very good. It's worth playing it I think it's worth playing it for the story alone. It's so cool. It's such a cool story. And like I say, I wasn't sold on it initially in the beta, but there's chunks of the story that isn't in the beta, and it's kind of like chopped up a little bit in the beta for what you end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that is your lot. That is all I've got for you.
Well, that's rather splendid then, Pab, because that coincides with when I was planning on ending the podcast.
Good.
So, excellent stuff. We have Twitter. It's at MGUK Podcast, or you can follow me everywhere at Lelujo.
And I'm at RB6K.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab1986 on Twitter and Twitch.
Hooray! That's your lot then, boys and girls. We shall see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.